Hey guys, like and subscribe for more content, please. Thanks, enjoy the video, have a nice day. Hey guys, it's your boy, back with more tokusatsu content. This time we got some more Rider versus content. Kamen Rider J versus the Attack on Titan universe. Ooh boy, this video has been a long day coming. So anyway, right, you saw the video, you saw the title of the video. It's Kamen Rider J, the giant Kyodai Earth Warrior versus the Attack on Titan universe. How would you do? How would you fare? Let's see. Starting off with Kamen Rider J. Kamen Rider J is a young man who was a nature photographer who was eventually killed by aliens that made the dinosaurs go extinct a long time ago because they reawakened in the 90s due to some construction stuff happening and pollution. Right? When the aliens killed this boy, he was resurrected by the Earth spirits and their Earth science and mystical ways to become Kamen Rider J, the Earth God Giant Warrior. Now, what can J actually do? Well, he's supernaturally strong, tough, fast, and durable, as well as the fact that he has advanced degeneration. He keeps getting hurt every one of his fights, and then you see him get hurt and maimed because his carapace literally is like has a little blood and scratches on it, and then he just recovers from it. My man gets stabbed and then just goes whatever, pulls it out, and then it starts fighting again. Like he regenerates from his wounds. He survived a massive, large building-size explosion, right? Of the Fog mothership at the end of the J series, this movie, right? And he was tossed from the explosion. He was smoking, and it had multiple cuts and bruises and wounds on him, and he was still alive. And then he regenerated from that like instantly. And he was like fine afterward. Now, Jay has some unique capabilities. First and foremost, everyone knows that he can turn gigantic, but we'll get to that. Right? Jay has the ability to enhance his abilities and skills and form and attacks with J power. The J power is actually the holy power of the earth and spirits of nature itself, from the earth itself, in order to basically make him stronger, faster, more durable, as well as the fact that his antenna, he can actually like freaking search out with his antenna and find enemies like 3 miles away from him, around him. And he can also see through like very thick fog and can see for like almost like a mile with his super eyes, right? He also has a bit of an anger power up because when he gets angry, he gets stronger as well. He has enhanced senses as well. They're all supernaturally enhanced to like, you know, like an animal degree. But now we get to the point of his jumbo formation. Jay has the ability, by using and calling upon the spirits of the earth and nature at the end of his movie, to fight against the Fog mothership, the giant, like, you know, 60-meter tall mothership thing. He had to call upon their help. It was a miracle given to Jay, and he was able to turn gigantic. He became a 40-meter tall giant of a rider who, when he first materialized, his feet literally like destroyed the ground. Like the ground literally just cracked and sank in really hard because of how heavy and gigantic he is now. With it, Jay's abilities increase exponentially to his size and weight. Whatever he can do before is increased way more now. And this is the man who survived the freaking bulldozer going down a cliff and then him being hit by it and exploding, and he's perfectly fine again in his small humanoid form. In his gigantic rider form, who knows now? He tanked everything. He tanked the Fog Mother's like light particle projectiles, right? They're actually light projectiles with all the guns on her body. He also tanked the electromagnetic beams that she was firing out at him, the pincer claws that tried to destroy him, as well as like all the weaponry and saw blades and bullets that she fired at him when he was rider kicking her from the sky. Oh, by the way, Jay has the ability to jump so high into the sky that he goes beyond the clouds and then comes dropping down with the force of a meteorite strike. You best believe that when Jay rider kicks someone, combined with the holy power of the earth and his J power, anger and strength and willpower, that we're gonna have a second extinction here. Dinosaurs who? Nah, bro. They're not there anymore. He's hitting you so hard, it's just over. As well as the fact that Jay is, well, he's a lot more durable than you think. Because after his movie, right, there's other places where he ends up going throughout time and space helping other writers. Okay, cool. What does he do? He fights Decade. When Decade is in his angry, face form, a form which I do not like right now, right? Violent emotion Decade. I do not like that form. That's when Decade essentially is in the destroyer mode. He starts fighting other writers and destroying them, collecting their cards. But when he fights against Jay, he has to deliberately dodge Jay's attacks, because one blow from Jay would literally destroy him, right? He used a motorcycle to get away from Jay. When he hit into a multi-story parking garage, Jay literally Kool-Aid man his foot through the garage and tried to stomp him and try to grab him and try to destroy him. But, Decade was too fast. In order to combat Jay, Kamen Rider Decade had to summon the G4 missile launcher and launch all his missiles at Jay, and he took it to the face no problem. Then he had to summon Kaiser's weird robot exoskeleton thing. I forgot what it's called, but it's the Kaiser weird platform thing that has all the missiles and guns, right? He summoned that and launched every single missile at Jay, and that was the only thing that can take him out. Even then, it didn't take him out right away. It just launched all of it, and then he fell down, and then Decade turned him into a card. After that, Jay went on to fight against other, problems and monsters and stuff like that, right? But remember here, when Jay fought against other Kamen Riders in the Kamen Rider versus Kamen Rider movie, right, which had the Showa versus Heisei stuff, right, Jay fought against Force. Force tried to do a double rider drill kick, right, and destroy Jay. Jay literally charged up a J punch and vaporized them when they were fighting, okay? He vaporized that man while they were fighting, okay? And then after that, Gaim came in and he was fighting Gaim. The only way Gaim was able to fight him was to get into his Suika arms, the giant watermelon mecha form, right? And stab Jay in the chest. That was the only way to defeat Jay, okay? And even then, I don't know if Jay was going all out, because like I said, he never did the meteorite kick. So I'm not sure if he was using full power at that point. Okay, enough about my man Jay. It's time to see how it would fare against the Attack on Titan universe. First and foremost, the regular Titans, the regular ones, and then the weird mutant aberrant Titans. They're getting their crap kicked in, bro. They're literally getting their crap kicked in. I'm not even joking anymore. They're literally getting demolished, and Jay is literally stomping them into the ground. My man's 40 meters tall, and he's super durable. Take many missile launchers and explosives to the face. Even a rider kick to the face and not die. Literally Jay is one of the only ones able to do that. He even tanked the extinction beam thing, where basically it's a giant Robo Rider villain who fired a beam that erases you from history, and Jay tanked that for a couple seconds before being erased from history. Luckily, they defeated him, and he was, reintegrated into history. But yeah, Jay's extremely durable, right, in jumbo formation. He can't do this, man. He can't, right? In his tiny form, he's probably will be able to punch those Titans to death, legitimately. He can punch them around, right? But in his jumbo formation, he's punting them. He's punting all these Titans, bro. He's destroying all these Titans. They won't be able to even get past his armor. He's able to destroy them all right now. Okay, enough of the regular Titans and the aberrant Titans. Now we get to the meaty, juicy bits. We're getting to the 9 special Titans, okay? We're starting off with Peak, the smallest one. My favorite. My gal. My girl. I love her. But she's getting curb stomped, alright? She has no offensive capabilities other than that mouth. What that mouth do? Horse noises. She can chomp down on regular people, yeah. But Jay? Nah, dude, he'll survive that. And then he'll go jumbo formation, and then he'll literally punt her to death, alright? The only offensive capability she got is when she has the artillery on her back. No, you know what? Let's give her the artillery team on her back. These explosives are nothing to what he can tank. He can tank several missiles to the face and a giant space rider kick to the face. A drill rider kick, right? That destroys buildings, man. He will be able to tank that and be perfectly fine. In fact, he will literally possibly rider punch Peak, and then she'll hyper explode along with her team, because his rider punch, I forgot to mention, infuses J power into people and makes them explode. Same thing with his kick. All right, so good luck to Peak, but she's getting hyper wrecked and curb stomped in the ground. Next, we got the Jaw Titan, right? I'm using all 3 Jaw Titans, man. All right. We got Galliard, we got Ymir, and then we got my boy Falco. All right. Talking about Galliard first here, right? Galliard. Okay, the man is fast, all right? Him and Ymir are fast. I'll pretty much put them on the same ground here. Their whole stuff, their whole shtick is them having really powerful jaws and, beast-like claw stuff, right? They'll probably crawl up and try to, bite his face off and stuff like that, Bite his face off. I'm like, oh, no. Break his windpipe. I'm like, nah, it's not gonna work, Because, I think that their jaw power will probably be able to, maybe go through Jay's armor. I honestly think so, because the fact that Galliard himself, his jaw form, Eren Yeager made his Jaw Titan form literally munch through that crystal that was holding the Warhammer Titan shifter, right? And that crystal is, near indestructible. They haven't figured out the way to destroy it other than the fact that, other Titans with hardening powers yet. So, I think that they can possibly bite through Jay's armor a bit, but then Jay has the advantage over everything else. Size, speed, strength, holy J power. He can sense them coming and react with his superhuman senses and immediately be like, cool, you're trying to bite me. And he just goes, yoink, you little sucker, and then just punches them into the ground and they hyper explode and die, right? What makes it weird right here is that the third user of the Jaw Titan, Falco, he has flight. Jay can't fly. My man can't fly. He can jump high. He can jump real good like Samurai Jack. Jack jumped good. Jay jumped good. But he can't fly, okay? Falco can fly. He's the first, from what I remember, Jaw Titan who can fly. He's the first Titan who can fly. I believe I can fly. That is Falco's theme song. Now, how will Falco do? How will he do? I personally think that he'll still get taken down by Jay, but he'll give him a better fight than Galliard and Ymir. Now we come to the mid-leagues. We have Annie, the female Titan. Now, she gives Jay more of a fight, okay? She's still smaller than him. She's 14, 15 meters tall, right? Bigger than Peak and bigger than Galliard, that's for sure, the Jaw Titans. But, she has certain advantages, right? For one, she has more combat experience and more martial prowess than Jay. Jay's more of a brawler. He has slight fighting instincts, but that's just because they installed it into him when they were doing the Earth surgery thing. But yeah, she has better fighting instincts. But the real thing that can get the clicker here, the real clincher, is that she has the ability of hardening. She can harden her body parts with that special, weird crystal thing. Now, Jay, I have no doubt, can strike hard enough to destroy that crystal, right? But Annie's fast, And I think ultimately it will come down to stamina, and eventually Annie will get tired and she'll try to call in Titans. But Jay will just, Kool-Aid Man through them, and then he'll Kool-Aid Man through Annie. He will have a little bit longer of a time than the others he's fought because of the hardening abilities that Annie has and also her combat experience. I mean, she'll try to, swirl around his arm and stuff like that and try to submission hold him and destroy him like that, but Jay's too strong for that. He'll either that or he'll just jump high into the sky and then crash down into the ground. See if Annie survives that. I don't think she will, even with the hardening. All right, he will destroy Annie, but it'll just take a little bit of time. Now we come to my boy Eren Yeager's Attack Titan. Okay, this is the one that gets a little bit it's like Annie except a higher level, because Eren has better combat experience. He has way more than Annie at this point. He's better at combat. He's all attack, no defense though. So literally he's just pure force, rage, and power. That's what he is. Eren is strong though. The Attack Titan is strong. It can lift a gigantic boulder that plugged a hole in the wall, okay? But he's not as strong as Jay. Like I said, Jay can hit with the force of Meteorite Strike when he jumps and then Rider kicks somebody. That's way stronger than what Eren can do. Okay, he can survive large building size explosions, multiple missiles, and multiple explosions to the face, and also a space rider kick, bro. A drill space rider kick from Kamen Rider 4s. All right, and punch it, and they literally missed him. All right, the only way to destroy him was literally to take out his chest. Jay, he will have a little bit more of a tougher time with Eren because of his combat experience. And ultimately, he'll probably have to resort to literally punching Eren into mush. If he rider kicks Eren, it's over. He'll infuse Eren with the explosive J power, and then he'll explode from the inside out. Okay? He'll just, that's it. All right? He'll just punch right through him too. But like Eren will be more of a tricky situation. Like I said, Eren Yeager in his Attack Titan form is a beast, combined with his training, his joint locks, his ground fighting, submission holds, bruh. You remember what he did to Reiner? I remember what he did to Reiner when he was actually had a fair fight with Reiner. But like, yeah, ultimately Eren is in Attack Titan form will be destroyed, and also like he regenerates a little bit too slow sometimes. Now we come to the Armored Titan, my boy Reiner. Okay, this one's a little bit more tricky because Reiner has all these armored. He's the Armored Titan. The man is literally a tank. Okay. I honestly think Jay will have a hard time fighting him than Eren because even though Reiner is smaller, he's built like a brick shithouse, and like he's basically like a giant super cannonball coming at you, right? Jay will be able to possibly tank it. Honestly, he'll probably tank it, right? And then punch Reiner, but like he'll have to punch and kick Reiner a couple times before Reiner goes down. Okay, Reiner, his armor was not able to go against like literal like explosive missiles that were being punched at him. Like it destroys his armor, it destroys him, right? But Reiner also has a lot of military training. Same thing with Eren Yeager. They trained. They have the know-how, the martial arts, right? And because of his Armored Titan form, he has a lot more advantage because he can just barrel through. Maybe try to trip up Jay with his legs and then go for his legs and try to destroy him there. But I personally think that Jay will still literally punch and kick through him, especially if he jumps into the air and then meteorite kicks him, right? Then like Reiner's dead. Reiner's over, bro. It's done. It's over. It's nothing anymore. But he'll have much more of a time against Reiner. Now we come to the Warhammer Titan. Okay, so this is the one where it's a little tricky because of the fact that the Warhammer Titan is basically remote controlled. Remember, the user, right, the maid lady, she was literally underground, and then she had a cord from her crystal linking up to the Warhammer Titan's body. And she can basically make the Warhammer Titan last longer because she's not directly inside of it piloting it, right? Here's the problem. The Warhammer Titan creates constructs with hardening. She can create various different weaponries, gigantic spikes several meters high. Like, this is an issue. She'll create a giant Warhammer to try to smash through Jay. I have no doubt that these things will probably be able to harm Jay. Probably, I said. Okay, here's the thing, right? Jay still outclasses her. I keep saying that, I know, but he still outclasses her when it comes to attack power and durability. All right, and then but bro, what about trying to find her and destroy her? Because the fact that if they don't destroy her, she can just keep using the Warhammer Titan body. It will never go down. Remember that Jay, even in his giant form, has antenna that can search out people that are 3 miles around him. He can sense them immediately. The red tips of his antenna can automatically, literally, like, send the information to his brain in an instant, and he automatically knows where she is. Doesn't matter if she's on. She has to stay close when she's fighting with the Warhammer Titan. He will automatically know that the Warhammer Titan's user is underground. And then when he fights against the body, and then he's like, oh, the body keeps going, I can't really kill her. Oh, there you go. I found something underground. I can sense the cord basically connecting to her. He'll go underground, go to the cord, and then he'll J-punch the crystal until she explodes. It'll take a bit longer, and he has to find her first, and also like go against the Warhammer Titan body with all the constructs, right? But he's not flesh. He's basically a super carapace, supercharged by earth armor and earth spirits. He's not like flesh meat man like Eren Yeager is, He'll have a lot easier time than Eren, but he has to find her first before he can defeat her, though. But I personally think he can still defeat her. Now we come to a Titan that will give Jay more of a challenge. What? I think that the Beast Titan would give Jay a challenge because, one, when he turns into the Beast Titan, Zeke, right? He has one of the best throwing arms in the game. And whatever he throws, all the projectiles become supersonic projectiles, man. They have the force of a missile, right? These things will harm Jay. I have no doubt in my mind, right? Jay will have to get past all of his projectiles first before he was able to even kill the Beast Titan. The Beast Titan is pretty strong too physically, but like his greatest advantage is literally, he can also call the Titans to him, right? So he'd be calling other Titans to him and commanding them kind of, and also throwing stuff at him. Like throwing all the crap, even the kitchen sink at him. Jay will have to go against that. Here's the issue, right? Jay, I personally think, will tank through all the projectiles. He will run through all the projectiles, right? And he sees all the Titans coming. Okay, I know what to do. he'll jump high into the air, several meters into the air beyond the clouds, and then come crashing down with a meteor rider kick onto Zeke Yeager and basically turn him into a stain. He'll throw all he can at Jay, but Jay will deflect it all like he did at the end of the movie. The Fog Mothership was throwing everything at him at the end in order to avoid that rider kick. She still kicked her, and she still got wrecked. So basically, Zeke Yeager, who was less durable than the Fog Mother, will be destroyed. Now we come to the Colossal Titan. This is the thing that will give Jay some trouble. Here's the problem. See, the Colossal Titan is 60 meters tall. Jay is only 40. Here's the thing, right? The ability of the Colossal Titan, he's very strong. He's very tough. He's very slow, though. Like Jay, he'll be slow. But the thing that clinches it here is that Titan has the ability to explode with the force of a nuclear bomb. Remember, Armin took out the entire port just transforming. Everything was vaporized in that explosion. Bert Holt used it to basically like make people get off of him and eventually destroyed a portion of the city when he exploded later on. Yeah, they also have the ability to like emit like hot steam, but that's not gonna do much to Jay. He's gonna be like, oh my god, it's steamy, it's foggy, I can still sense where you are, I'll punch you. Alright, the only thing that I think that will give him the advantage is the nuclear bomb explosions. The giant nuke explosion is literally what I don't know if Jay can tank that, because he's never tanked something that hard. I mean, he tanked the existence erasure beam, but that was existence erasure, man. That's a completely different story. The only other thing that he's tanked is literally the freaking multiple missiles from Tsukasa, from the G4 launcher, and also the Kaizo vehicle, and then he eventually died to it. And then also that Rider kick where he basically fought Fours head on and Rider punched Fours' Rider kick, double Rider drill kick, and he was able to destroy Fours. So that's the best durability that he's got. From what I've seen or remember, right? But him taking like a nuke blast to the face, I've never seen him do that. I'm not sure how we would react to that. It might harm Jay a lot. He still has a lot of regenerative abilities, even in that giant form. He doesn't lose that. So, like, I think maybe he might be moderately damaged by it, but ultimately, Armin, he's not much of a fighter. So is Bert Holt. He would be able to literally just punch him and make him explode, okay? But he'll take a lot more damage before, he destroys them both. And now we come to the piece de resistance. Okay, the coordinate. The main Titan, the big boss that Eren becomes at the end. The coordinate Titan, the founding Titan. Ymir, the Ymir version, okay, he'll destroy the Ymir version, okay? Can control Titans, create Titans, and basically, be like, okay, cool, but he'll destroy Ymir. I'm sorry, he'll destroy Ymir. Like, the original Ymir, alright? But the Eren founding Titan, that is an issue. Here's the thing, man. He controls thousands, if not a million, maybe, wall Titans, thousands upon thousands of 60 meter Titans. I'm gonna say thousands from what I remember. And dude, they're all 60 meters, bro. They all can maybe nuke explode. They're not really doing anything, honestly, because they just walk in one straight line. But Jay has to contend with all of them and also all the heat that's coming off of them. So, like, I personally think that Jay will have a time because there's thousands of them coming at him, okay? He'll be punching and kicking thousands of them, but, like, he'll get tired eventually from what I'm seeing. And then, like, Eren himself, in his gigantic super form, he's like, what, 200, 300 meters tall? He can create the other 9 Titan types, bro, and summon them to aid him to fight against Jay. Bro, that's a problem. I don't know how Jay's supposed to end this, man. I don't know how he's supposed to, like, end him and fight him, okay? The only thing I say is it goes 50-50. Either Eren crushes him with all of his army and summoning all the 9 Titan special types, all of them throughout history, to fight Jay, right? And win. Or Jay manages to get through the entire army and then jumps high into the sky again, and then Rider kicks Eren Yeager's face with a meteorite kick, right? That's the only thing that I can think of, okay? And infusing him with all that holy J power, making him hyper explode. That's the only way I can think. It can literally go 50-50 either way at this point. I'm not sure who would win. I like to say it's my boy Jay, but I gotta take the bias out of this at this point because the fact that Eren's bigger and possibly stronger than him, okay? Hell, he has advanced regeneration too and summoning abilities and an entire army of thousands of 60 meter Titans. Alright? Giant meatman army. I don't know at this point, okay? I really don't know. And he can make the 9 Titan types all bunch of them from his spine, dude, I don't know at this point. I think it's 50-50. Who do you think wins? You tell me in the comments, guys. But like, I don't know this one. I think that Jay has a 50% chance of losing against Eren Yeager in his founding titan form when he's like 200, 300 meters tall. And that's about it, folks. Thank you guys for watching. Like and subscribe for more content, please. And also, like, legit, what do you think? I need your guys' comments down below. How do you think Jay would fare versus Attack on Titan? You know, on all those titans and everything. I personally think that, like, my opinion of it still stands. But, like, I would love to be proven wrong. I would love to know your opinions on it and basically see how Jay would do versus all these titans. I still think that the higher Titan tiers, like, you know, the Colossal Titan and Eren's Founding Titan would take him down. Alright, like, I honestly think Colossal Titan, he'll have to work a little bit more, but he'll probably be destroyed by Jay, like I said. But Eren's Founding Titan, 50-50, I think Eren has a good chance of taking him out. Alright, hopefully Jay gets more, like, love later on, you know what I mean? Like, I would love a new movie with Jay who gets a power-up or something. Maybe a new series with Kamen Rider Jay. That would be cool, like a special. That would be neat. Anyway, thanks guys for watching, and enjoy the rest of your day. See you later.